In a story from the Daily Star, and oh boy, do I have a whole bunch of other stories to pull up for you. Woman dropped out of Oxford to become a sex worker despite IQ higher than Einstein. Not. There's no way I believe it. Not that I value the concept of IQ in this regard. What does that really mean? Although I do think IQ is important. Melissa Todd's life took an unexpected turn when she took up a summer job and she dropped out of Oxford to make $600 a night and enjoying lavish sex parties. Dude, sure, check this out. A sex worker who went to Oxford with Liz Truss is said to have an IQ that rivals Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein, but gave it all up for a $600 pounds a night, a sex. Hertfordshire-based Melissa Todd dropped out of the prestigious university to pursue a career in the sex industry. Her controversial decision was hotly debated as she Mensa test when she was 12, joining the world-famous high IQ society. I love Mensa so much. I pulled this up right away. us.mensa.org. Join. Take the Mensa admission test. Okay. I'd like to join a society of people who are very smart. What must I do? $60 for local group testing or private testing for $99. That's the test. If you're willing to pay money so that someone can certify you as smart, you've failed. Good job, Mensa. Dude, I got to be honest with you guys. I know people who are in Mensa, and they're as dumb as a box of rocks. IQ is an interesting thing. Intelligence quotient. There are different intelligences that make up your intelligence quotient. Someone may be very, very good at spatial reasoning, but boy, can they not comprehend real simple math. In their mind, they can image a tetrahedron and unfold it in every direction, each with a unique symbol, and fold it back up, and then use that visual prowess to easily solve puzzles. And then you ask them something simple about, like, reading comprehension, and they're like, huh? This is why we have idiot savants. It's why you have autistic savants. There are many people who are ridiculously good at math. There are people who are autistic, can solve math problems like that, but they can't comprehend anything else. And so they need assistance in living. Yeah, Mensa is, I'm sorry, I just think it's a bunch of nonsense for people who need to feel good about themselves. There's a lot more to life than paying money so that someone can tell you you're smart. Melissa originally wanted to get into economics and was even named Brain of Britain decades ago by the Hertz and Essex Observer, but her career path took an unexpected turn. In an exclusive interview, she said, "It seems like a very long time ago now. I heard a piece on the radio. I think like on Jeremy Vine or whatever. The equivalent was then, and it sounded interesting. I like tests, really. Yeah, I got a lot of A levels and passed the Oxford entrance exam, and I went to Oxford briefly, but then I went mad and dropped out, which is not uncommon among undergraduates. I was doing PPE, philosophy, politics, and economics, with Liz Truss, although we were different colleges, so I don't remember her at all. Although Einstein and Hawking reportedly never took Mensa tests, many sources speculate their IQs were around the 160 mark. For context, an average IQ is somewhere between 85 and 115, and the base is 100. So IQ changes as time goes on. If you give an IQ test to a man in 13th century Wales, he'd probably score an 80, based on the things that we do today. However, documents shown to the mirror suggest Melissa's IQ averaged at 178, making her exponentially gifted in the eyes of testers. She was the first person in her family to attend university, but it wasn't a natural fit. She continued, I took a year out because I was going completely mad and annoying everyone sobbing over lectures and stuff. So I thought I'll take a year out, and I saw a job advertised in the Evening Standard for table dancers at a bar. And I really didn't have any ideas on what to do, but thought that sounds fun. And they say you'll make $600 a night, and I really desperately needed money, and I like dancing, so why not give it a go? Well, I'll tell you two things. I don't believe her IQ is 178. Perhaps it is. I also have to say, if your IQ was on 178, and they really did think and really do claim you're that smart, making money is easy. It's very easy. Let me tell you. Perhaps the issue is that she lacks perseverance. Let me tell you, the issue is she's lazy. Perhaps the issue is that she's very horny. I don't know. She prefers to do sex work. But I can tell you this. Here's some advice that was given to me by a very wealthy man. He said, being rich is easy. Write a 20-page book, compile statements from health experts on losing weight, put it into a 20-page book, the keynotes, 20 tips for losing weight fast. You run the ads on Facebook and YouTube and Google or whatever. You figure out what your cost per sale is. He says, I think it averages maybe $5 in advertisements will get you one sale. And you sell the book for $6. You find that happy medium. Congratulations, you're rich. Then what you do is you write another one. 20 tips for dating. 20 tips for doing X, Y, or Z. 20 tips for financial success. He says, it's really easy. You find 20 experts in the field. You take a quote from each of them. You put it into books where you said, I saw this great quote from so-and-so who said this. It's sound advice, but perhaps this would help you better. Turn the page. These simple books could be digital or physical. Amazon can auto print them and people will buy them. Now, I'm not saying this is a guarantee in the literal sense. I'm saying you understand the simplicity of creating a basic product that literally would take you 20 minutes and you understand why people would buy. The idea that someone with an IQ of 178 lacks the capability to navigate a basic system as such to make money, I find to be laughably absurd. I think the reality is she just likes sex. That's it. She became a sex worker. Well, where did she go? They say she found herself thoroughly enjoying the job, captivating in glitter balls. What is this? She needed money. She liked doing go-go dancing? It was really just meant to be a summer job, but you get used to being happy and rich. And you meet interesting people who say, why don't you do this? Why don't you make porn? Why don't you go into a peep show? And here I am as a 28 years later thinking, I'm probably not going back to Oxford, am I? Celebrating her 48th birthday with an IQ of 178, and she chose to make a small amount of money. Forgive me if I don't believe she's smart. I really don't. And I'll say this, don't get me wrong. Maybe she just really loves this line of work. And that's fine. Follow your passions. But she could do that stuff and be rich at the same time. New York Post. A Florida woman quits Chick-fil-A job to become OnlyFans model. Now she earns a whopping $14,000 a week. ICU nurse ditches scrubs for big money, making content on OnlyFans. Veteran police officer 61 retires to focus on frisky online modeling career. Unilad. Woman 41 who left job earning six figures to start OnlyFans hits back at claims she made a terrible decision. 7 questions I get asked all the time since I quit my job to work on OnlyFans, says Charlie. And then we have a Reddit. When did you decide to quit your job to do online content? Look, man, the reality is there are a lot of women who don't want jobs. There are a lot of women who want to be sex objects. I'm not saying all women. I'm saying many women took jobs because they needed them and have found they would be much happier not being a nurse, a police officer, or working at Chick-fil-A. That I get. Or maybe you don't even want to be an Oxford prodigy with an IQ of 178. You'd rather just be a hooker. And if that word offends you, I don't know what your problem is. Because that's what you are. It's funny. It's like, no, sex worker. Hooker means sex worker. What are you talking about? Calm down, hooker. Like, hooker means sex worker. They're so offended by it. I love it when I called OnlyFans models hookers, and those one women were like, how dare you call my friend a hooker? And there's nothing wrong with being a hooker, but how dare you? What do you selling sex for money? Selling sex. Let me tell you, man. This is why I don't trust this whole like high IQ stuff. I will first preface it by saying, I love a picture of Einstein here. I'll preface it by saying, she may be extremely intelligent and just loves sex work. Okay, for sure. But I really do think if your IQ was that high and it really did imply you were smart, you would just make yourself rich. Because I got to be honest. If you are smart, you can make yourself rich. Seriously. Like I explained with the selling the books online, the purpose of that story is it's actually quite simple. A lot of people think in order to be rich, you got to be like one of those guys on Shark Tank where like the guy walks in and he's like, I love this story. The guy's like, it's this device you mount on the front of your house. It's a doorbell and you can connect to your computer or your phone and actually watch a camera. And the sharks were like, get out of here with this crazy idea. And that was the Ring doorbell. And now that guy's a billionaire. And the Ring doorbell is actually pretty awesome. And then he ended up becoming a guest shark later on, and they all gave him a standing ovation because he was originally pitching them the idea, and they turned him down. I think they turned him. I'm pretty sure they all turned him down. You don't need it. You don't. I mean, it is kind of funny that he was like a doorbell with a camera on it. It's like, oh, I guess it kind of makes sense. Put a clock in it, right? That's what they used to say. You don't even need to do that. You could make a T-shirt. This is the craziest thing. Like, seriously. Your IQ is 178. Perhaps the issue is laziness, okay? You make 4 T-shirts. You make a website called Funniest T-Shirts Ever, and you just take some old joke, a one-liner, and put it on the shirt. And then you advertise the shirt on Facebook, Instagram, and you will sell those shirts. There's better products and better ways to do it. And you're going to be doing work. You're going to be checking to make sure that your ad costs are lower than the selling point. Otherwise, you're in the red and you got to be in the black. But you will effectively automate a system. It's simple. If you were really, really smart, then you wouldn't need to do anything else. But I suppose you can also be lazy. Now, it is what it is, my friends. That's OnlyFans for you. Some women just really want to do, I don't think she's doing OnlyFans or whatever. She's doing porn or something, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of women just they want sex and they want to get paid for it. I'm sure a lot of guys do too. I'll leave it there, my friends. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends if you do like it. Follow me on X at Timcast. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all next time.